This is Fly Guy for TekSushi.com, and today we're taking a look at this, the Starboost Mark 39 Iron Man 3 Hot Toys 1/6 scale collectible. That's a bit of a mouthful. This is a gorgeous armour. It took me a little while to get this. It had to come from Australia. I'd ordered it over a year ago, so it is just been out maybe literally, I think 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember, but it's one of the many Hot Toys armours that are out there. But great looking piece. We'll take you through and have a look at this. So first up, the packaging is pretty standard. There's none of that great stuff that we've seen on some of the other figures like Iron Patriot and War Machine. It's just a cardboard sleeve. There's no outer sleeve in front of it. We get a picture of the figure on the front with a little kind of gold piece, which represents obviously the gold up at the top of the helmet. As we go around, it starts to evolve into just some drawings and diagrams, and there's a nice honeycomb theme that's going on inside the packaging. You can't really see it on camera, but that's the kind of theme of this figure overall. Iron Man 3 in the bottom. And once you open the box and look inside, we get the usual kind of standard thing we've seen on many of these Hot Toys. The House Party Protocol, sir, from Jarvis, and a look there at some of the artists that have worked on the figure itself. Let me see if I can sharpen that up. If anybody is interested, you can freeze on screen. I'm sure GC Hong and the guys have been involved there, but good looking image there. But again, we barely get to see this armour in the movie. There's a hexagonal honeycomb effect going on again. It is seen in the movie poster, and you do get to see it in the movie, albeit incredibly briefly. But it is in the movie, so it is one of the actual armours we get to see. Now, the point of this suit is that it's a deep space suit for Tony to withstand the radiation of space. After the first Avengers movie, with the whole flying into space with the bomb strapped on him, this was a kind of suit that apparently was designed to be withstanding the radiation of space, and hence this Starboost name. So beautiful armour done in this very gorgeous kind of honeycomb and gold effect all the way through, and we'll take you through and get a look at that in just a second. It does come with some instructions here. Always worthwhile reading the Hot Toys instructions, because a lot of people have been snapping parts off of this. So let me share some of this with you just so we can show just a little more for those that aren't aware. So there's quite a few bits and pieces that you can do with this figure. You can extend the shoulders. You can basically pop them out as if you're basically giving him a kind of a sprain on the shoulders. Let me just focus on that a little bit more for you. There we go. So you can see how you kind of pop them out, you lift them out, pop them out. It'll probably happen once we do the review, but it also gives you these warnings about what you should and shouldn't do in terms of how far out you should pop the legs. One nice little feature on the side, these flaps, it's always about the flaps, that pop up as the legs move up, which allows them to not break, which is always a nice thing. Kind of limited on the waist movement. There's not a lot you can do on that front, but it does. You have to extend the waist, the kind of middle stomach area up to allow some functions to happen. So again, worthwhile definitely checking it out. Shows you how to insert some batteries in different areas and places for forearms and onto the forehead. There's a stand. Sadly, it doesn't light up, and it's one of these extendable arms which allows the figure to be displayed. And again, how to put the backpack batteries in, and the lights for the headpiece as well. I have to say, it's getting really fiddly with Hot Toys these days. Just to get the blooming lights on this thing, you gotta nearly break bits of plastic and get them up. Pain in the ass. I'd much rather go for simpler buttons on the side of the figure and just light the damn thing up, rather than have to take all these parts off. But there you go. So, figure also comes with some swappable hands. We get 2 fists that come with the figure, so they're non-working, they're just fixed as fists, left and right obviously. You get 2 hands which come with the pretty awesome, well, I'll focus on and show this, if you've never seen this, it's something to behold, is the indexable fingers. Every single joint crunches down, and that's for both hands as well, so that allows you to just have any sorts of pose and rude gestures that you want to. And of course you pop that on and the light shines through from the LEDs in the hand already. And we also get 2 hands which when they're plugged in are effectively at that angle, allowing you to give that kind of Iron Man blast from his hand. So yeah, they look great. And the fingers are not, they're just kind of squidgy and bendable, but they stay in that position. So on to the figure. This is awesome. I do love this armour. So let me just see if we can sharpen that up a little bit there. As it stands, I'll give you a closer look in just a minute, but just as a quick 360, we've got a triangular arc piece here, hands and the lights obviously, and lights in the eyes. You can swap out the headpiece, and we'll show you that for a completely sealed piece, I guess, if he's going into space or something. But there are also lights on the back you can see here on this jetpack here. And again, I'll show you them in close up in just a minute. Just again, a quick look round here. But there's a nice honeycomb effect everywhere throughout this figure. Super articulated figure. It is limited by some of the movement on it, particularly down at the legs. They're pretty good, but the upper torso is very limited. But look, it's pretty articulated all over, just about every single joint. Again, I've just shown you hands and fingers that move, so you can pretty much get any pose out of this. It is the armour that prohibits it from moving against other joints that will stop you getting into the exact pose you want. But still an amazing looking figure. If you want to buy this thing, by the way, there's a link directly underneath. They are still available. I don't know why I thought this thing would have sold out, but I'm sure it won't take long before it sells out. The stand is one of these clip pieces that allows the figure to be held on there. Goes into the base, and sadly it doesn't light up, despite the fact there's a box at the bottom which looks as if you could put AA batteries in there, as it has done in previous ones, but it does not on this. I wish Hot Toys would get consistent with their stands, because it pees me off no end that you've got a multitude of awesome figures you spend a lot of money on, and they all have different stands. But there you go. So, the figure itself, you can see, let me just sharpen in there on that honeycomb is just awesome. It's all over the place, just adding a lovely touch to it. We've got lots of cool little graphics you can see up there, exhaust imports, it actually says intake up there. Little kind of burn marks and kind of exhaust fume-like marks all over there. And it's just beautifully designed. Everything kind of locks and interlocks into each other. It's particularly noticeable once we get down to the back. You'll see underneath there, underneath that flap, yet again, all about the flaps, the little nodules and lumps there allow everything to be kind of linked in now. It won't link in at the moment because I've extended the upper torso to allow it to twist. Again, we'll come back to that. So it's just, it's awesome. I love this. These flaps on the side move up, so as you move the legs and the armour up, they pop up too. So again, just, it's really well done. Really, really well done. I love the detail on the back. We get those little hexagonal honeycomb effect again on the exhaust ports. Beautifully done. And again, getting the batteries into these is a royal pain in the arse. It really is. Now, so many people have broken this piece at the back here. You can just about see. I've actually not completely clipped it in because it was just a pain in the butt to get off. And I'd seen so many people complaining that they'd, where am I? They'd broken theirs. These little teeth up at the top tend to snap off very easily. And as you can see, there's quite strong kind of plugs that allow this to go into the back component there. So you have to take this off every single time if you want to put the lights on. So let me show you with the lights off. We'll just turn that off there. There we go. And that's those thruster parts at the back. So again, to put that back in this piece here, the clip up at the top. And it's just so rigid, the plastic. I just set it in a little bit and don't clip it back on because, again, it just took you forever to get it off. It's quite happily staying there. It's going nowhere, and nobody but me is any the wiser, and that stops the damn thing breaking. So it allows you to get easy access to get in there and turn it on and off if you want. So again, the figure is lots of different extensible parts and pieces. If I show you this upper torso here and I twist it back round, you'll see all these components like a snake all kind of coil in, and you can click it back in. Now what that allows it to do is, if I go round the back again, you'll see that spinal piece is kind of locked in. Again, if I try and do this on camera, you'll see a little bit more. And look at the sides of it, you'll see, pull the top away from the bottom. That's going to work, hopefully. It's not going to work for me. I'll try it again. Come on. Nope, not going to work. Well, it does work, trust me. I think I've actually just popped it out there. Yes, I have. There we go. So it pops out. Don't be too worried about it. It will work. You just gotta play around with it. So there's a lot of flexibility and movement on this, and it's designed really well that these pieces all sit together. So it does take a bit of playing around to get used to it. Don't be too terrified with the Hot Toy. It will have some movement in it. So, and it's great when you watch reviews like this firsthand, so you can find out what to do. So there you go. So lots of little movement on that waist gives it a great little twist there. The legs, as you can see again, they're the same kind of thing that we've had before in some of these figures. You can pull these out a little bit to get a little bit more movement, and that allows a lot of the flexibility. You'll see up at the top of that torso is that spins round there. So you get a little bit of thigh movement going on there as well. But there's plenty of ball joint movement going on there. The knees, I love the way these kneecaps work. If we move that leg down, you'll see the whole armour just smoothly, flushly goes into this one component. And again, bend that down, and they pop off and up, and you can just move that back just a little bit. So it's gorgeous. I mean, again, underneath all that silver, his look just looks fantastic. I love it. All the kind of honeycomb all the way down, fully articulated ankles and fronts of toes. Plenty of movement going on in them. You can just see that that's the front of the boot, I should say. So there's lots of different movement there. Again, it's pretty rigid, but again, you'll get this into just about any pose you want for the figure. So both hands have repulsor blasters on them. There's one lit there as well to get into that component and part. Underneath, there's a component I've just kind of slightly left it off just a little bit, and that pops off. You'll see yet again. And the joy of getting these batteries into this thing, and I'm being sarcastic, is again a pain in the butt. Trying to align 3 tiny little batteries up my big ape-like fingers here, trying to get the damn thing in. It's not fun. So and even clicking some of this plastic as I'm doing right here, the earlier Hot Toys did a little switches on the outside, and it just made life a whole lot easier, I think. But I'd love to know your thoughts, whether you think the aesthetic kind of hiding these buttons is actually better or not. I don't know. But love the design on this figure. It really is the style of it that I love. All the little tiny pieces, all the little drawings and diagrams and lights and switches, even round to the back where we have these little triangular pieces yet again represented on either side there. It's beautiful. He just looks awesome. Now, he does come with an extra helmet, and that allows yet again, same kind of mechanism there. If you want to take this off again, which is really bugging me that you've got to do this every time, but you've got to kind of snap this piece off the head, and we'll turn this off up the top. And you get an optional piece which goes over, which I'm not really a fan of. And again, I'd love to know you guys' thoughts, or girls, below what you think of this completely different armour, which allows the face to be just completely gold. But, I don't know, I prefer the lights coming out, but like, it's got a nice touch. This was one of the characters that you could play in the official game, which is available on Android tablets, and I'm sure it was in iOS as well. But this was one of the unlockable armours you could get, and again, it just looked great. It was one of the first times I'd actually seen that there, and in the Iron Man 3 book. So one of the most stunning and iconic armours out of Iron Man 3, and there was a lot of them. So, yeah, had to get it. Great piece. Again, you want to buy it, there's a link directly underneath, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this Starboost armour. You're an Iron Man freak like me, are you collecting all of these? Please do leave a comment, let us know. If you're brand new to the channel, click subscribe. You've got lots of Iron Man goodies and other Marvel reviews and whatnot straight into your inbox. And that's it. We've got some other reviews coming up on our Star Wars channel, flyguy.net. But in the meantime, we'll see you for another review here on TekSushi. Thanks.